This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com with a daily wrestling news update. Tons of rating news today, starting with Raw from last night, which, by the way, I did a watch along of and a review, and you can see the review in the description. Raw got a 0.41 rating, which is up. Of course, it's their WrestleMania go-home show, probably probably the second most important Raw of the year. The most important is the Raw after WrestleMania, which I'm going to do a watch along of 2 next Monday. The WWE Rivals episode on A&E with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar did a 0.14 rating. The biography on Charlotte Flair on A&E did a 0.13 rating. I don't even remember the Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar rivalry. That's how much of a rivalry that sticks out in my mind as. AEW Rampage did a 0.10 rating. Former New Japan wrestler Carl Fredericks had a cameo in the Bloodlines Goodfellas skit that aired on Raw last night, which I saw. And at first I didn't understand because I didn't realize that they were just doing a parody of Goodfellas. Was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. But one of you great fans enlightened me. And Kelly, who was known for dating many WWF wrestlers, has announced that she's pregnant. Richard, do I think All Elite Wrestling is better than WWE at this time? Well, I have to say, I did enjoy their show in Winnipeg better than both Raws that I've seen this year. However, the Raw last night from Phoenix, where I hopefully want to live one day, I'm wearing my Cardinals baseball hat, was better, much better than the Raw from Ottawa, where I live now, that I saw back in February. Here in Ottawa, where we still have snow and the lake is still frozen, that my building overlooks. And the reason I don't like Raw, why I didn't like Raw as much as AEW, is because there's just AEW has a lot of talking too, but overall there was way more wrestling and action on AEW than Raw, which is just so much goddamn talking. And I actually felt like I accomplished something making it through a 4-hour show. The first hour and a half, all I could think about was I got to watch 3 hours of this. How the hell am I going to watch 3 hours of this? But then the last hour and a half actually went by faster and was better than the first hour and a half. And as I said last night, why do we have to, since the Attitude Era, why does every Raw have to open up with a long promo? Mix it up every once in a while. Aren't you guys supposed to be great storytellers? We always hear about great storytelling. Mix it up. And is great storytelling, by the way, I did bring this up in my Raw review, but a lot of you fans commented that you agreed with me on this. When people interfere now in wrestling, their music plays. So I guess it's not really a surprise interference because their music starts playing before they come out to interfere. That boggles my mind. So a match is going on, but they'll interrupt the match. Obviously, the company knows they're interfering if they're going to play the music. And they feel that the music of the person interfering is more important than the match going on, which just makes the match seem worthless to me. And I like to suspend my disbelief. I don't like to be reminded of what I'm seeing is a show. I like to be able to get lost in it. But there were some good things on Raw that I didn't mind. But overall, AEW, I enjoyed better, to be honest with you. And I have no interest in either one of those companies. None of those companies are ever going to hire me. Someone says he's in Boston, Massachusetts. It's 52 out there today. I actually ran outside today. I had a wonderful run. I worked out, then I ran outside. And it was warmer out, but the snow is just starting to melt. How I made it through? Actually, I felt so good after. Honestly, I did a 72-hour fast over the weekend, and I had a similar feeling of accomplishment. And again, I think that 3 hours is too much because you add way too much talking in that 3 hours, and it just drags on and on. I think it was. I like Superstars. It was like a 1 hour show. It left you wanting more. Or when Raw or Nitro was 1 hour. When it was good, 2 hours was better. But 3 hours, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think I could do this every week, but I am going to do this WrestleMania week. Richard says he agrees that there's too much talking in WWE. And it's not even good talking. And you know that they're just reading scripted lines. It's not even good. If it was good, I did like the John Cena promo on Austin or on what's his name? Austin Theory that I watched after Vince Russo said it was good. I did like that where John Cena basically told them that he sucks and he shouldn't win. And I agree, he shouldn't win. Austin Theory has been like one of their anointed guys that they're just going to keep pushing until he finally gets over. But I don't like Austin Theory. Michael, here's WWE wants Sasha Banks back. Well, she's signed temporarily now to New Japan, but I understand the reason why she didn't sign with AEW is because they wanted her under a long-term deal where the New Japan deal is a short-term deal. And apparently they paid her a shitload of money because their product is at one of its all-time lows in interest right now, and she has a huge social media following. So they're hoping that her social media following will help their product. They did get almost 2,000 people at the American show that Sasha Banks was on. And they haven't been. That's like a very good crowd for New Japan in the U.S. these days. Mike thought Raw stunk. Well, as I said, for today's wrestling, I gave it a 6.5, and I'm honestly trying to be as biased as I can. I really want to be. I don't trust me. I want to be entertained by this stuff. I do not want to sit there hoping it's going to be over. The Rey Mysterio match was pretty good. Dominic's a good heel manager. This Walter guy, the German guy, looks like he just came out of Auschwitz. Though he looks so frail and malnourished. Somebody buy this Walter guy a drink or a protein drink. He looks so frail. It doesn't look like he could squat even like 135. His legs are so thin. I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler. He's a good wrestler, but my God, the guy looks so thin. Someone says, well, we don't know that Cody Rhodes is going to win the title. I don't think he should win the title because this is the first opponent of Roman Reigns where we don't really know if Roman's going to win or not. So why make him lose? And to be honest, Cody's being shoved down our throats too. I'm not saying Cody's not talented, but I'm bored of him by this point. Spewing the same crap every time. I'm not saying he's not talented, but he's not going to be the next Hulk Hogan. I'm sorry. He's doing a better job than Lex Luger though, of being a baby face. But I just don't think he's going to be the next John Cena. But he's the best option they have, other than Braun Breaker. I think Braun Breaker has more potential than Cody Rhodes. He's younger, better athlete, better look, more of an upside. But yes, I'm sure they're going to put the belt on Cody Rhodes eventually. JM says Theory is winning. I mean, they're probably paying Cena. Cena, I think during the Raw watch line, I was looking up Cena's pay. Cena still makes like 8.5 a year from WWE. And the reason they pay these guys, like Goldberg was making 3-point-something million, I believe, is just to put these younger guys over. So, I mean, It's not that great of a WrestleMania, honestly. The main match, the only match I care to see is the Cody Rhodes one. I am a Brock Lesnar fan, so I'm interested in his match, but I don't think Lesnar versus Omos is like a WrestleMania caliber match. But apparently Lesnar might be leaving after WrestleMania too. I mean, if his contract's up and he doesn't know who's buying the company, maybe he doesn't want to sign until a new company purchases it, and he knows who he's going to work for, or maybe he wants to see what AEW is going to offer. Mike says Sasha Banks is overrated. Becky Lynch is overrated too. I'd actually rather watch Sasha Banks than Becky Lynch, and I'd definitely rather hear Sasha talk than Becky. Richard, keep up the great work. Thank you. Got some good interviews coming up too. Ian, Trish Stratus may turn heel. That's what they say. Trish looked great. Trish was the hottest female on the show last night. I mean, yes, she's got a plasticky look about her, but she put all the other women to shame. As far as her actual physique, she has a great physique. Amazing for however old she is. Someone says, keep up the great news. Someone checking in from the Great North Wrestling Twitch account says nobody on the WWE roster is main event caliber. That's why Reigns has had the strap for so long. Well, they've been pushing Reigns forever, and they eventually got him over. Just have a guy win all the time, he'll get over. But he did improve. Reigns is main event, but he's not Hogan level main event. Brock is main event, but he's a part-timer. Doesn't even really do house shows. Rarely, very, very rarely will do a house show. And it's usually Madison Square Garden. John Cena, but he's even less than Lesnar. So you got three legitimate ones, and they're trying to get Cody to that level. Mike says Reigns. I agree with you. Reigns is at a whole different level than Cody, but Reigns still didn't eclipse Cena's drawing ability. No gimmicks guy, Jack Kilby. Episode 3 of Shooting from the Hip with ECW legend Kingpin Angel Medina and gentleman Jack Kilby is taking place this weekend, I think on Sunday, with Greek God Papadon from Vince Russo's brand. And Greek God Papadon, I believe, is wrestling Jeremy Prophet for the Canadian Championship at the Great North Wrestling event, May 6th, right here in Ottawa, Canada. One of at least 3 events that are being put together by Great North Wrestling. Jake says Trish is 47. Thank you. I agree that Seth should do a job for Logan. Creepy. Seth rarely wins his big matches. He jobs more often than not against big opponents. But Logan can't lose again. They're paying this guy millions. Logan is a main eventer. He actually draws. You see ratings go up. He's one of the biggest celebrities in the world these days. And he can't lose again because he just lost against Roman and he didn't win the Royal Rumble. He can't lose to Seth Rollins, who is not like a mainstream known guy. I really think they should have done Logan against Cena. That would have been a WrestleMania match. Logan against Seth, I don't see. It'll be interesting to see how Logan's improving in wrestling. But that match, to me, the money match was Cena against Logan. Dave doesn't understand why 2 days of WrestleMania, because they want to make more money, but they're just watering down the product. WrestleMania is not going to be as good. watered down like this. I agree. I don't understand. I only understand it from a money standpoint. I hope Cena doesn't do the job to Theory, Mr. Lopez. I really hope not, but they really seem to love Austin Theory. Triple H really seems to love Austin Theory, but I hope Cena doesn't job. I have no issues with Cena, by the way. I think he's talented. He was a great champion. He helped WWE. When I did security, the crowds with Cena were good. When I was an extra and Cena was doing well for WWE, the crowds were good. Ratings were decent. He's more of a household name than Roman Reigns is right now. Roman Reigns can still get more popular. He hasn't necessarily reached his peak yet. He's still young enough to go another 5 to 10 years, maybe even more. But right now, Cena is definitely more popular than Reigns. But Lesnar is extremely popular too. UFC fans know him. Everybody knows Brock Lesnar. If you walk down the street and ask 10 people who Brock Lesnar is, 9 people are going to tell you they know who Brock Lesnar is. If you ask 10 people who Roman Reigns is, maybe 4 or 5 might know. John Cena would be about 7, 8, 9. A lot of people know John Cena from movies and stuff. Cody Rhodes, I don't think so. I don't think many people know him outside of wrestling right now. Maybe 2 or 3 out of 10 might know who Cody Rhodes is. But they actually did a survey, an official survey last year, where they asked people randomly to name like the top 5 wrestlers that came to mind. It was like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, The Undertaker, Macho Man, and I think Ultimate Warrior and Sting were some of the names mentioned. It was interesting that it was none of the modern guys. People think more of wrestling as the older guys. Ivan Stacy Keibler went out with David Flair and Test. I know Kelly went out with Test. Wouldn't surprise me, Stacy Keibler. I remember meeting her well. She was hot in Calgary in 2004. She was at a Raw. I was an extra for her, and she was very nice, but gorgeous. Those legs are amazing. So, well, I think Miss Elizabeth should have been in long before Stacy Keibler, and Sharmell. I think they just put Sharmell in because as a favor to Booker T, because it's very political. But it's sad that Miss Elizabeth or Missy Hyatt are not in there. Yes, we talked about Kelly being pregnant. Anyways, guys, have a great night. I'm out of here.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video.